Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Magic Arena Run. This one's a little bit of an impromptu one. I finally got enough rare, so to speak. So so this is the deck that I really wanted to make ever since Zendikar Rising came out. So I finally tuned it a little bit to my liking. I'm not sure how well it's gonna fare now, but I've had some recent success with it at least today. So I figured, you know what? It's been a while since I last did one of these regular events, so let's put it to the paces. So you might have seen part of the deck list a little bit a while ago. So but we're gonna cash it in. So we're gonna discuss the deck here. So this is essentially three color Naya warriors, and it really plays around the warrior synergy. So first, let's move all our lands on this side. And so what we have basically turn 1 warrior into turn 2 warrior into turn 3 warrior into hopefully Winota or Haktos. Basically one of these two is enough to kill it. So our non-human warriors, 4 Fireblade Charger, 4 Core Blade Master, pair of Shatter Skull Chargers, comes in with haste, comes in as a surprise, especially works really well with Winota, even if we're just on a 3 mana. The one shot's quite good. Pair of Radas, 4 Warden of the Chain. Usually Warden plus Winota is enough to get this one to guide big boy to attack. If not, Warden plus Haktos also works well. So these are our non-humans. Actually, we have quite a bit, all in the service of our human warriors. 4 Seasoned Hollowblade, 4 Kargan War Leader, 4 copies of Winota, 3 copies of Haktos. Our only non-warrior, originally I had 4 copies of Haktos. I figured, you know what, I do have copies of Kenrit. Let's just run one of these guys at least. As far as removal is concerned, we have 4 copies of Fire Prophecy because we really want to go through a lot of cards. Because we really need to set up the synergy ASAP. 3 copies of Shatter Skull Smashing, removal in a pinch. 2 copies of Emeria's Call. In the weird case we get flooded. Otherwise everything is just pathways, a few temples, basically 1 Temple of Abandon, 3 Temples of Triumph, mostly pathways, a few paved passages, and we're going to see how well this works. So we're gonna submit this deck, and probably should change the sleeves, but we'll save that for another time. So we're gonna see how this one works, or rather how this one works well with those who are playing right now. Okay, I'm not so sure how many are checking in now. I'm concerned I might have come in a little bit late. This is not the usual time I normally stream. So here we go. And we got one of the worst possible hands. We need a white source to make this really work. No guarantees I get this one live. I'm not gonna risk it on the temple. I'm gonna mulligan. This one is better. We have the Fabled Passage to get us the Fire Prophecy. We're gonna keep this. We're going to bin. I'm gonna take a gamble. We're gonna bin 1 Fire Prophecy. So we're gonna lead with Fabled Passage. We really need that red source. I need to see if I need to cast Fire Prophecy or if I can just cast the Core Blade Master. So I'm gonna hold up. I might just try to drop Kargan War Leader first. Painful though. Well, Seasoned Hollowblade also works. I'll take the life hit from it. Now the problem with Seasoned Hollowblade is great, but this deck probably has a lot of removal, so I'm going to pass. I'm expecting a 2-drop, so we're going to go Fire Prophecy. Fire Prophecy now. Let's see, we want to bin the Seasoned Hollowblade. Normally this one gets annoying, but we're short on cards already at this point, so I'm not gonna risk it. Okay, another Core Blade Master. Maybe I should bin this one instead. We got the Winota, so we just need 1 more land. So I'm gonna lead off on Kargan War Leader first. It's not the easiest one to snipe. Our opponent will need something beefier like a Scorching. Anax is not it. So definitely want another white source here. Then we're just gonna run our double Core Blade Master. Let's force our opponent to... even if our opponent snipes one, we're gold. So at least we're in Phoenix of Ash. Opponent swings? Probably not. Opponent swings with Phoenix of Ash. That's fine. And at least we know, unless our opponent's main decking red cap melee, which I doubt, we will get Winota hits. And also it will be 5 power and toughness because of the War Leader. So let's swing with these two. Let's save the Kargan War Leader. Or should I just swing with it, force our opponent to trade with Anax? Yeah, let's force our opponent to trade with Anax. So we'll get the Seasoned Hollowblade. And we whiff on the second one. That's fine. So unless our opponent can answer this one, he's gonna have to deal with these two. I am okay with our opponent trading with this one. And even if our opponent gets the Embercleave out, it's gonna be like Embercleave on Phoenix of Ash, so we're fine with this one. Opponent's doing a lot of match right now. Oh, he's gonna take it. So opponent's down to 2. So here's the critical math. If our opponent has the Embercleave, that's 7, 14. So we are forced to block. We are forced to block this one just to mitigate damage. And will we survive? There's the Embercleave that's guaranteed. I think we... So 6, 7 minus 5. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, we made it. Yep. Yep, the damage was already done. And we only got one Winota trigger out of that. So we managed to do quite well. So the Seasoned Hollowblade is pretty much there as a... pretty much as a nod to like some of the rogue decks because they run a lot of removal. We want them to keep running out resources and playing cards out of their time. Otherwise, I've really developed this one mostly for best of one. I have not figured out what are the matchups I really should work against. There's actually quite a lot to this point that I have no idea which ones I have to aim for. The sideboard right now, it's very speculative, totally untested. And let's see, we'll keep this one. We just need one green source off the Temple of Triumph. We can at least start with the Fireblade Charger. This is probably Rakdos mid-range. We have some discard fodder at least. Okay, another Fireblade Charger is fine. So let's see if we can hit a Seasoned Hollowblade. I might actually pass on this. I want to hit the 4th land for at least Rakdos. So red, green, or green is fine. Winota. Okay, so we really need to hit that land. Okay, this is... Oh, okay, so... Timurate calls the dead. Okay, so definitely mid-range. Opponent eats up their own... Oh, does not eat their own Skyclave Shade, but we are kind of in trouble. If we can't hit the 4th land, we will... If we can hit the 4th land, we're perfectly fine. Oh, opponent whiffs on both. Unless he's gonna finally eat the Skyclave Shade, he's not. Oh, wow. Slightly awkward. Opponent goes Blood Chief's first, sure. He might have the double removal. Okay, gets the Skyclave Shade back. Okay, this is red or white, so we will play red. We will play Winota because our opponent... Let's get at least one trigger off. Get a Seasoned Hollowblade, that's fine. Next turn, we'll just run Rakdos. No, I don't need to. I'm not meeting our opponent. So we kind of got lucky. Our opponent whiffed on the Timuret. Wow. Maybe maybe +1 green source. That was very speculative. And at least we can swing with the fire. Claim the firstborn. Okay, so we won't get any more triggers. Our opponent. This is a forced block. We'll see if our opponent wants to scry with probably scries anyway. He sacks this one. We'll just bin one of our uncastable wardens. And at least we forced them to use a claim the firstborn. I probably would have taken the Seasoned Hollowblade, but yeah, no. Let's be honest. That was the one triggering Winota. That's actually why I have the 2 copies of Shatterskull. But I don't know if those are gonna come into play or not. We'll see. With the Fire Prophecy. Let's see. Opponent has way too many cards, so I'm probably not gonna trigger the Woe Stride. I'm gonna just cast Hack Toss first. X equals 4, so that should dodge almost everything. Opponent does not try to block with the Woe. Opponent didn't even bother to sack it. I guess it's because they scried to the top last time. So probably another claim. Yeah, that's fine. We can just block with Hack Toss. So opponent probably doesn't bother, just sacks it in. Yeah, Hagra Mauling is the only thing that can take this out right now. I've had some really okay, Village Rites. Opponent really needs to dig for cards. So I'm actually, depending on what our opponent has, I'm actually quite okay. Croxa will discard another Warden. Our opponent's probably gonna get it back, so the nice thing is this one's just gonna keep getting through. I can Kargan. Opponent's forced to block Winota. Can't block Hack Toss, not high enough. And our opponent's forced to, well, if they can't kill Hack Toss, they have to kill Hack Toss plus Winota. It's the Skyclave Shade. This one can't block, so it doesn't matter. They can just get the Woe Strider. That's 2 blockers, but it will not block Hack Toss. Yeah, opponent concedes there. So we were very fortunate. Our opponent had mana problems early. Otherwise, we would have been in trouble. Well, we also had mana problems too, so we were both fair. Yeah, I probably want one more, at least one more forest. Or I originally had 2 each: Temple of Abandon, Temple of Triumph. So red, white, and red, green. Maybe go back to that. I'd minimize the number of cards that required green, but sometimes you still get these hands. As far as I'm concerned, I'm actually I'm relatively liking this one. Yeah, this is the one I really wanted to build the most. Metagame be damned. So we got 2 Core Blade Master into a turn 1 Emeria. Problem is, I know this is a 3 mana deck. I can kind of start with this, but Lurrus kind of dissuades otherwise. I'm gonna mulligan. So there we got 3 lands. We will bin 1 Fire Prophecy because we need. I want the Warden Winota setup. I only need double red, double white for the inevitable Hack Toss draw, but otherwise, okay. Seasoned Hollowblade turn 2 is a good option as well. So whether I Wind Robber. Yeah, let's draw more cards. Yes, got our land. So basically, it's about setting up our land draws. Now we probably still It's bad if this gets hit by, say, a Heartless Act, but can't do anything about that. Counterspell is also a problem. Usually, opponent lets it go though. So I'm kind of hoping our opponent taps out, which is not something I would expect. Okay, so Soaring Talk. Oh, opponent did tap out into Wind Robber. So mills. Okay, so this is just straight Great Mill. Yeah, Cragtown. Nota. Now, at least we know there's no Zareth. And yeah, we'll take the Kargan War Leader. Opponent probably gonna try to kill Winota ASAP. Which means we can at least... Which means the second Kargan War Leader will be able to... pump them enough to swing through at least. Kinda wish I hit Hack Toss, but this is fine. Now, let's see. Extinction Event, it will probably kill Winota or the other two, so that's kind of... No, yeah, there's probably still an Extinction Event. So the... I don't... Oh, opponent goes Cling to Dust. Needs to draw cards. I think they're really digging for removal at this point. Land, possible. Oh. Opponent keeping one to chump block. I guess that's fine. Okay, bin the other Winota, which we didn't quite need. So... let's play this in white. So, opponent now has to double block. We'll just drop the Fireblade Charger as well. Yeah, multiple card. So, we will swing with just Warden and one Kargan War Leader. I'm tempted to swing with Nota because our hand's kind of empty anyway. Yeah, let's force our opponent. And into the Hack Toss. Our opponent can block this, and I think our opponent should oh, yeah, our opponent should block it. He has the Soaring Talk Teeth. He has no choice, actually. So he can chump block with one. He can't block with the Wind Robber. You never can. You can block with Taut Teeth. I think... yeah, he saw it, so he's gonna go down to 10. Sacks. Yeah, it's fine. But now our opponent has their hands full. Our CMCs are all over the place, so Extinction Event's not gonna do it. Yeah, we just unloaded everything. Yeah, as far as rogues are concerned, I still prefer to play the non-Lurrus version because you're probably gonna still hit something with Zareth-san. The one I run still has Slither Wisp. It's not because the Lurrus version I feel it gives up too much for what it's worth, but I can understand a lot of the pros are recommended that version. I just wonder if people have wisened up to it. So far, 3 wins, no loss. I'm expecting it to change anytime soon because I will admit the deck is kind of volatile. Like, hand like this, we're never gonna... And I only have like 5 basics, so... But I admit that this is really a 3 land deck. So, let's just... Okay, 2 lands. Kind of got worse, but at least I have options, a red and white, so I will keep this. We have an easy bin and Hack Toss. This is... oh, this is Clerics. I'm not sure if this is worth it because I know because Skyclave Cleric has 2 mana, our opponent could just play a land and play a second one. At least this is Glass Casket fodder. Oh, Fabled Passage. So we got the Fire Prophecy. Okay. So yeah, we'll run the Seasoned Hollowblade out first. I'm sure our opponent has some way to remove it, but I would. But we do have the Hookmaster into Winota, so I kind of want to preserve that for a while. If I'm still having land troubles, I will definitely fire off the Fire Prophecy. Give it. Oh, white blue. This control. Oh yeah, it's a Yorion deck. Of course, it's control. Why am I? The Cleric threw me off guard. The multiple Clerics are throwing me off guard. Glass Casket, Seasoned Hollowblade. Yeah, they take the bait. Now our opponent could just have. So I'm just gonna pass here. Gonna swing. I'm not sure what our opponent could have, but I have to. But I don't like running things out into 4 mana. Okay, Esper, Elspeth's Nightmare. So this is a Doom Foretold style deck. I probably want to just. Yeah, I'm probably gonna just Fire Prophecy this one. I want to draw a card. So let's put a card into the library. Okay, we got the land, but we don't have to pay off. So I'm gonna play the Temple of Triumph. Our opponent's now is not gonna know what's up. Another Core Blade Master, so we'll play the Blade Master up. So we don't discard anything, but yeah, opponent goes Doom Foretold. So we lose the Blade Master. Our opponent probably sacks this, so I might just pass. Because yeah, this is basically this is very soft to control decks, especially with a very slow start like what we had. We could. Oh man. Okay, so yeah, we need to force our opponent to profit off their Doom Foretold. So I will discard the pathway. Saying that was our green source. Birds. Yeah, we'll discard the pathway. Opponent's about to drop into a Dream Trawlers. We might not be able to catch up by then. Okay, hit another land. I might want to just play the mountain anyway, but yeah, cause this deck does not if they have discard, it's targeted, so I have to just so I have to play it now. That said, it might not matter if our has the Doom Foretold again. Okay, you know, we might just if I can't draw another creature, we might end up having to concede. Wow. Yeah, we'll just concede right here. We are way behind at this point. We never got the setup. Our opponent had the having the early Doom Foretold is nuts. I used to play the Doom Foretold deck, albeit in Orzhov colors. Am I inclined to want to play it now? Probably should rebuild it again. I don't like splashing it for Esper. I maybe more. Yeah, I don't like splashing it, making it Esper. Right, at least not right now. But that said, I don't mind building Doom Foretold again. So we have 3 lands, so this is a keeper. So we will run the Abandon into. Then we get to decide which of our early options, what we want to do. Yeah, we want to bin any humans. Depending on what. Toss, okay, so. We'll just play the Fireblade Charger. So if this goes unmolested, we have a turn 2 Kargan War Leader. The next turn Kargan. Oh! We don't. Spells deck, okay. Now, I could have gone all in, but I'm expecting our opponent to drop either a removal, some sort of removal spell, or some sort of Sprite Dragon. Either case, I really want to have the Fire Prophecy. I want to have the Fire Prophecy up. Basically, keep drawing into cards. Opponent's Spike Field Hazard, so okay, that's fine. Exile it instead. Opponent could still have a counter spell up, but I guess it's if he does, let's get it out of the way. Unsummoned. Okay, that's fine. But at least that's one spell out, so we're good with that. Okay, definitely want more white. So I probably just play the Hack Toss now. Now that okay, X equals 4 is good because it dodges. It will dodge almost everything that this deck has, except a Storm's Wrath, which is Sprite Dragon's fine. Middle form. So opponent going all out here. Okay. So I will play Blade Master. No. Let's Fire Prophecy first. It's been the Seasoned Hollow Blade. That's only because I did not. Okay, opponent goes Riddle form into Riddle form. Never gonna block this one, but he should be fine. He could block the Kargan War Leader. So what do I want? Not that. So just swing with Hack Toss because unless our opponent does get that 4 mana spell, this is a maid though, so if they do have the Storm's Wrath, for that same reason, I'm going to hold back the Core Blade Master. Fairy Vandal, not gonna block that. If our opponent casts the Fairy Vandal, it probably means they don't have a 4 mana answer. Yeah, sometimes I've had the bad luck that this would be protection from everything except 2. I guess tonight's my lucky night. Okay. The green panned out in that one game, but otherwise I could do slightly without it. But most of the good non-human warriors are in green. I even originally ran the Wildwood Tracker, which is a 1 mana green, but I figured I kind of want the green later, so I kind of swapped it out for the Blade Masters. They actually work well with War Leader. And did our opponent just salt because hey, listen. Okay, looks like our opponent salted out. Could also just be bad connection, but have I seen this guy before? You guys should be very thankful that I can barely remember everyone I run into. So yeah, looks like this is a salt play. I don't know. Yeah, but this is the one I wanted to build. The second one I wanted to build was the Clerics deck. Still having issues getting that to work quite well. Although, at least it stays mostly in Orzhov. I guess I can make it a +1/+1 counter team, then just make it Absan, but that dilutes it a lot. Rogues, it's very easy. It's definitely blue-black. I guess you could splash little red for Grixis, but it really makes no sense. All the cards are already there. There's no reason to add stuff. Yeah, opponent just gave up. And it's a very non-standard deck, so I guess while it's still atypical of the meta, why not? It's a fast romp. You win quickly or you lose quickly. So like, and sometimes it's just me being stubborn against control. But yeah, so if you at least you churn through a lot of games quickly, and if you're probably losing a few in a row, it's probably a good time to take a break anyway. So don't worry too much about that. So far, we've already had 4 wins and 1 loss, so we at least made our buy-in back. We're gonna see if we can get a few more wins. So definitely want to keep this one. So Blade Master into Warden is plausible. So what am I looking for? Land number 4. I actually want the Kargan War Leader. Yeah, we have the Winota setup, but buffing these Blade Masters is worth it. And this is looking to be rogues again, so at least the core Blade Master can take out take out Thieves Guild Enforcer while my graveyard's not that thick. Yeah, the Kenrit is also a giveaway if I don't mill a Winota or Hack Toss, but we'll see. At least here I have an alternate plan. I can also just choose to drop Blade Master and Fireblade Charger. I don't have to drop the big Warden if I don't want to. Okay, hit another land, so yeah, I want to go wide a bit. We can drop this much. We can drop this later. So drop another core Blade Master. I'm assuming our opponent has. If I can hit Winota, it would be really great. Otherwise, I can just drop the War Leader. I can drop the War Leader fine. It's gonna be a battle of attrition at this point. Oh, there's the Winota. There's 3 more. At least if the Winota plan fails, we can still go wide. But now our opponent is aware of all our creatures right now are not human. So they might be holding things up like counter spells or whatnot. Okay, there's Winota number 2. Now let's see our opponent. Yeah, do that because why not? If our opponent takes the time to get Lurrus, okay. Yeah, we're gonna swing first. Well, yeah, that was a mistake. Yeah, that was a mistake. I probably should have played the War Blade to War Leader and threat and stuff. But at least let's get some damage. Let's get some damage going. I'm assuming our opponent has. Okay, atypical. Normally it's drawn in the lock, but didn't say please also works. Opponent is holding back. Let's see if our opponent might just be running Counter City at this point. In which case, I probably still don't want to attack because our opponent could just be holding up a. Okay, that's fine. So what am I exactly looking for? A Winota would be really nice, though I'm expecting our opponent to have a counter for it, so I'm not holding my breath. I probably could just play the Seasoned Hollow Blade first. Force our opponent to answer stuff. Let's put that in the bottom. Yeah, I'm a bit cautious that our opponent could have a drawn in the lock. You know what? Swing with the Kargan War Leader. If they have the drawn in the lock, they have the drawn in the lock. If they want to just block, they will just block. That's fine. Yeah, this one's a bit more atypical. They had the much bigger start. Into the story, sure. Opponent reloads. Yeah, this is typical of the Lurrus deck. So at least we can keep swinging with the Seasoned Hollow Blade. Maybe I should not. No, I played the Temple of Triumph because I needed to see what our next card is. I don't know if I doubt our opponent is inclined to just some. 5 mana. Wind Robber, okay. So probably just a Seasoned Hollow Blade. The problem is if I have to give it indestructible first, so I'll actually be down a card, our opponent will be up a card. Yeah, our opponent's in control. Yeah, we're forced to discard. And our opponent could just sack this, so our opponent actually goes up a card, we go down a card. I kind of don't want to play Warden of the Chain. You know what, fine, let's just play. Let's just play it. It might incline our opponent to take out the Seasoned Hollow Blade. And if our opponent has more counter spells, I really need to get them out of his hand. But that said, this has already devolved into a control matchup, and we're probably not going to win this one. Yeah, opponent does Soaring Taut Teeth number 3. Opponent has yet to use Lurrus. With this many cards, they probably don't have to. If they're gonna just cast the... Well, they can't cast Lurrus now with the mana they have. Okay, we got Shatter Skull Smashing, so... Let's force our opponent to counter it. And I am willing to swing with Seasoned Hollow Blade just to get the damage through. Or even just trade off with one of these. Let's see if our opponent's willing to. Because our opponent's banking on the fact that they can just cast this and recast the Soaring Taut Teeth. I'm also banking on that one because that limits the amount of mana. Because that limits the amount of mana they'll have on board. Although it might still be quite a bit. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They'll still have 2 mana, which is good enough for... Well, not didn't say please. Okay, they took... Wind Robber's fine. I guess we're back. Let's see if we can hit some... Though the problem is our opponent can start swinging now. So let's keep the Fire Prophecy up top. Opponent might just be inclined to use the Cling to Dust, though... It's probably not a bad idea, actually. Yeah. Removing a bunch of cards that I'm never gonna get back anyways, but... Surprisingly, our opponent is slightly threat light. Then again, I guess they might have another Aghanim's Awakening. Well, another ward. How many wardens do I have left? Oh, I still have all 3 wardens. I still have the other copies of Hackross. If our opponent has the didn't save, please, I'd probably just concede. Yeah, I'm gonna concede at this point because our opponent's just gonna get everything back at this point. Yeah, our opponent already had full control of us. There was no way around it. Well, 4 wins, 2 losses. At least we broke even, so I can't complain too much. Let's see if we can. Let's see if we can keep going at it. So any game from this point on could be our last. Is there any way to shore up the Rogues matchup? Sideboard, I had Bone Crusher Giant. That is an option I keep. It takes out everything but the Soaring Taw Thief. It even takes out the Lurrus, so that's something I want to keep. There's also Scavenging Ooze in this theoretical sideboard that I have, although the mana does not really support it. I'll keep this one. Triumph, Blade Master, Shatter Skull Charger, or Prophecy. We have options. The one Kenrit being in hand does not feel great. The only saving grace is that, well, it's a way to buy back life after hard aggro. We hit our fourth mana, so I don't want any more of this. I could use one more for Kenrit, but I'm a long way away from casting. If our opponent, oh well, Lance Galore. And at least Shatter Skull Charger forces our opponent to have instant speed removal. And if, well, they use one now. So let's see. If our opponent just casts some Bone Crusher Giant, I might just fire Prophecy. I want to draw more stuff. And I'm willing to bin one of the I'm willing to bin that too because the Shatter Skull Charger is not going to be effective against this. Get another Fire Prophecy, so that's fine. Yeah, the Fire Prophecy is really there just to keep drawing into cards. That's the one thing I like about it. So I get that this opponent actually casts a Bone Crusher Giant. I probably will still snipe this one. Sure, two life better. Okay, we hit our Winota, but something to look forward to. That said, our opponent could just have removal for this, so you know what? So I'm gonna bin Kenrit. I'm quite a ways away from casting Kenrit. Take the 2. Village Right. Okay. So maybe I do want that one more land. So I kind of want to just play Kenrit early for make our opponent try to kill it. It's also I'd rather cast it over one of these two guys because like claim the Firstborn is bad against this one. We did hit the land after all. I really want to cast Winota into this, but yeah, the setup did not pan out. The other thing I could have done was just wait on the Blade Master. I'm not gonna block. I want to force our opponent to use removal. Because if our opponent's forced to use removal, it's... yeah, like that. It's every removal used there is one less removal for this one. Another thing I'd like is another red source would be nice, so I could cast War Leader and Shatterskull Charger. That's also another possible. Well, it comes in play tap. That's fine. Emeria's Call. I guess that's fine. I probably won't play it because I might end up having to cast it. Yeah, let's just play the Kargan War Leader. It can block the Skyclave Shade anyway. And the alternate plan is, if our opponent does tap out for all things, I can just Winota and Shatterskull Charger. I do have enough mana for both now. Opponent does have enough cards to buy back Woe Strider and then some. I'm kind of hoping our opponent actually does. The fact that our opponent played the land first before playing this. Now, I'm hoping our opponent does not have Kroxai yet. Yeah, if our opponent's looking at graveyard, they're gonna replay Woe Strider. That's fine. Yeah. Claim the Firstborn. That's fine. Kind of deadly for us, but at least we... So that means Winota's gonna be forced to block. We're probably dead anyway. And I have to play this. Yeah, it's a good game. We're dead either. I could play the Winota, but I'll be forced to block with it. It's not great. Yeah, Emeria's Call not so great. Yeah, you know what? Last hurrah, but that's it. We don't have any Vigilance Warriors, which is a problem. It comes into play tapped and attacking anyway, so it doesn't matter. So this was the original plan, but it was preferably that I cast this earlier before that. Yikes. We got the Warley. Yeah, it doesn't matter which one I get. Let's game anyway. If our opponent chooses to block, I probably conceded too early. That does nothing, but it doesn't matter because yeah, it has indestructible. Most people don't realize it has indestructible, including me. But yeah, it's, I'm dead on board. There's no way around it. So yeah, not such a great run, but at least we got 4 wins off the bat. We just hit that heartstring, but we're pretty good there. And there you go. Let's claim our money back, and let's see what we got here. Nightmare, Mentor, okay. Stampede. It's fine. Can't complain too much. That's it for this episode of the Magic Arena Run. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on notifications and whatnot. Well, I guess next up is going to be Ikoria, but we'll see what FNM has for us next time. Until then, thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you guys again next time. Take care, God bless, stay safe wherever you are, and as always, have a great day.